everybody. Yeah, I'm back. It's Monday morning, the 2nd of October, 2023. And yeah, it's going to be another bright sunny day here in the Midwest. Pushing high is going to be in the 80s again. Like I've always said, October is the month where you start out wearing shorts, and come Halloween, you're digging out the flannel thermal underwear. It's a month of big changes all over the place. Yes. Please remember, yeah, I'm a psychic, so everything is for entertainment purposes only. I go through the morning headlines and stuff, and I get my impression on what's actually going on, and that's what I relay to everybody. And it's kind of funny because I've noticed over the past week, mid-September, I was in I think I was like 498, just a few shy from the 500 that's needed. And now today I'm 489. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I guess their algorithm realized, hey, I'm cross uploading. So they decided to make it super difficult. Like I said, I think I have been checking in and talking to a few people. So maybe, yeah, I will be scraping together more cash to purchase Alphabet stock. So let's just get going. Right now it's like we're the the people coming out of New York State are just unbelievably dense. I mean, in December of 22, that Ho chick, that's Governor Ho, was saying, oh yeah, we're going to welcome the wetbacks. Now in October of 23, 10 months later, she's saying, stop coming here, stop coming here. Yeah, because New York has a state regulation law stating that they are a right to shelter state, meaning anybody who doesn't have anything, the state automatically will provide them with a home, food, medical, clothing, everything that they need. The state, New York State, will provide for them. Well, now they're like getting inundated. They're saying that Texas has bussed in over 100,000 people. No. Texas has sent about 13,000 people to New York State on buses. The other 80 plus thousand people made it to New York through their own criminal means. So, yeah. Stop putting out the false propaganda, New York. And why don't you recall that stupid congressman that you've got? What is his name? Jamal Bowman? Yeah. Little Jamal. He's, yeah, the Democratic congressman for a section of New York State. Saturday, while there was a lot of stuff happening in the halls at the Capitol building, yeah, they were kind of verbally duking it out to see whether or not we'd go into a government shutdown or stuff. Well, Jamal, right when the vote is supposed to be taking place as to what's going to happen, Jamal, a former high school principal, pulls the fire alarm. Now, any kid growing up in the United States who went to public schools knows you don't touch those fire alarm boxes unless you want to get kicked out of school. So here, a former school principal is pulling a fire alarm. He's using some bogus excuse thinking it would open a door. Well, you know what? As Donnie T says, he needs to be treated the same way as the J6ers. And since he's the most recent fool to do something stupid on camera, he goes down to the bottom of lists because, you know, a J6er is like half of them still haven't had their trial. So little Jamal needs to go sit in the pokey and wait till all the J6ers get through court before he gets his turn. And if the Democrats, the donkeys, don't do that, let's put it this way, they're not getting it. A lot of people will not support donkeys. It's really, really, really ridiculous. I mean, we've got, I'll get more on them. I have some more information on donkeys. But I want to hit a couple things that are happening internationally. So, yeah, the UK is now having fits because they're all now claiming Rishi Sunak has no clue to reality. I mean, yeah, he's got megabucks, so he doesn't have to worry. He's the prime minister, so he doesn't have to worry about anything. But the people like you and I mean, we're struggling. So Rishi is now getting major blowback. And also in the UK, I guess some judge now put it through that puts this CRT nonsense on the same level as Scientology. So I guess CRT people are now being protected because that's a belief system. Basically calling CRT a religion. So yeah, they're now a protected group because of their belief system. Okay, so who's the golden idol of CRT? I mean, the golden idol of Scientology is L. Ron Hubbard. A science fiction writer? Come on. Yeah, he was a con man. And now his little egomaniacs of Tom Cruise and David Miscavige. So who's going to be the idol of CRT? Who are they going to create as their CRT figurehead? Since it's now in the UK basically classified as a religion, protected individuals. It's like the nonsense that's happening now in Pakistan and versus India. Okay, back when the division happened, I'd say that was like the late, okay, basically India became its own country back in the Raj, no longer was an English colony, part of the empire, back in the late 40s, and then the 50s, early 60s, then they did the separation. So you have India, and the people from India mainly practice Hindu and Hindu faiths. But Pakistan and East Pakistan and West Pakistan back that time was separated off, and that's where the Muslims stayed, and they kicked out everybody who followed Hindu practices. And then back in the 70s, West Pakistan was separated off. No, we're not one country on opposite sides of India. West Pakistan became Bangladesh. Well, so now East Pakistan is just plain old Pakistan. And right now you've got a lot of stuff happening because around these Islamic schools where basically the mullahs, these religious teacher guys, I would compare it to like a Jewish yeshiva. Okay? In Pakistan, Karachi, people are now taking pot shots at the teachers, the head mullahs, and already a couple of them have crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And India is really cracking down on these extreme mullahs. I mean, they actually caught one guy living in New Delhi, And yeah, they put him in the pokey. And now all of the people who pray 5 times a day are having a fit because the India police nabbed the guy and threw him in the pokey. So there's having all sorts of uproar, and it's a powder keg. And it's all because of the nonsense being done by the people who pray 5 times a day. It's getting nasty over there. Something else that kind of I laughed about is now they're making it public that the Big Red Seas, the chairman of their Everguard Property Development Corporation, or Property Development section of the government of the CCP, well, he's now, like, we know he's MIA, and now they're revealing that he transferred a lot of the money in the bank accounts outside of the Big Red Sea, and nobody can find it. And now the outside creditors, the people that the Everguard Corporation bought supplies from, are now going after the CCP government, the Big Red Sea, for their money because they haven't been paid for any of this materials for them to build these massive holding pens of good little communists. Keep your eye out. It is going to get really, really interesting in the Big Red Sea, because that is a whole division of their government, and it's crumbling fast. Just like Macron. Yeah, the French government owns like Transdev, which is major transportation stuff here in the US. I've gone through that before. Yeah, a lot of your school, a lot of the shuttle drivers for like the college campuses and your local suburban bus routes are all employees of basically Macron and the French government. Okay, now what else am I laughing about? Oh yeah. They made the announcements about the Nobel Prizes this week. Yeah, the 2023 Nobel Prize for Medicine goes to the 2 doctors that developed the MNRA liquid that everybody was being forced to put into their body. Yeah, they just were rewarded for continuing the medical experiments started by Joseph Mengele. Kind of creepy, okay? Real creepy. Hold on, I hear somebody knocking. Nothing important, just they were handing me my receipt for my rent. Okay. Now, to get back to the donkey issue. Right now, I saw the article on how West Virginia's Democratic Senator Joe Manchin is calling out the Jim Crow Joe Cammy Poo show on all their nonsense. I mean, the donkey show promised everybody all this stuff, and now Joe Manchin has admitted he's not going to vote for Biden. He's calling out all the stuff that Biden promised and they haven't delivered on. So it's rumored that he may then kick in as a third-party candidate. Could it be that we could have RFK Jr. and Joe Manchin on a ticket? Or possibly Joe Manchin may flip parties and run with Donald? Because the stuff that I saw about Tim Scott supporting the Ukraine garbage, yeah, the blue and yellow flag shit, he just lost my support. Anybody who supports Ukraine. No. Sorry. Not happening. If you support sending money or anybody in that country, you do not have my vote. I mean, even now, the entire cabinet and just no-brain Trudeau are getting slammed for their lack of knowledge, their lack of remembering World War II history. The history of what happened during the 1930s, from basically 1922 to 1946. Okay? Yeah. It's 1922 was 2022 is basically the start of 1922 all over again. So yeah, we've got more and more people waking up smelling coffee like Joe Manchin, RFK Jr. It's like one of the guys that I do watch and try to catch in the morning is Mark Dice. Go find his video from today. He goes in and explains all the stuff that J. Edgar Hoover did. And he talks about a lot of things. But something that I know, and it was basically shown to us, but people kind of don't accept it. They say everything coming out of Hollywood is just fiction. Well, a lot of the product that comes out of Hollywood is propaganda. And it's stuff to prepare American citizens to get ready for the real deal. They basically are getting you prepped. I mean, X-Files. Okay. That program was basically to get everybody ready to accept the fact that there's other life forms besides us. We're not the only populated planet. So X-Files was like a prepping, getting people to open their mind. Yeah, maybe this is really happening. Mission Impossible. Basically, that was truth turned into fiction. Fictionalized, I mean, old stories of something that really happened, so they just kind of made it more palatable to the American public. Same with the movie Argo. I mean, that is the most blatant validation of what really is happening, what goes on. And people just don't realize it. I mean, people that you least expect, because, okay, everything electronic is monitored by Big Brother. I know my video is going to be, as soon as it's uploaded and out there, they're going to be looking at me going, what's crazy Glinda? She's spilling the beans. Yeah, she's telling the truth. She's spilling the beans about everything. I go, yeah, the people you least expected. Okay, because everything on the computer is being, on the internet and your cell phones, is being tracked and recorded. I would say the best way to, if you want to get private information, don't laugh. Use regular old pen and paper. Find yourself and get a good old-fashioned fountain pen. And write letters using a fountain pen, because a fountain pen, your handwriting changes and is very particular. And people will have a hard time forging stuff that's written with a fountain pen. And what you do is then use an envelope, seal the envelope, go buy good old-fashioned, you can use a candle, but use wax to seal the envelope. And right where you seal the envelope with the glue stuff, draw lines and write sealed all around it. Use some tape, use sealing wax, then you put it into another envelope with United States Postal Service tracking on it. That way, when the person gets it, if they see the tracking envelope that no longer has their mailing address written in fountain pen, and the address, the handwriting has to match what's in the letter, and if the envelope doesn't come completely sealed up, and you'll tell, you know that it's been snooped through. But yeah, old-fashioned snail mail. Get a landline phone, because you need a court order to wiretap a landline phone, not a cell phone. And yeah, I'm not going to spill all the beans, but yeah, those are two ways you can protect yourself. And if you are disabled, have a medical issue, AT&T does have to install a true landline phone into your residence that has its own independent power source. Especially if you have sleep apnea, that qualifies you for a landline phone, because if your power goes out in the middle of the night, you need that machine so you don't die in the middle of the night. You need your electric ASAP. So, okay, that's my rant on that. Let's see, what else did I take notes on? The other one, yeah, it's take a look at Matt Taibbi's. He's a journalist. He just did a big thing on Tony Fucci, you know, the little wop. Well, yeah, the little wop was the initial attempt, just like I told you, Hollywood's products are put out to prep the American public. Remember the movie Contagion? Hey, the little wop basically followed that Soderbergh script. And so many people just were so preconditioned to accept the dictatorship of the little wop. He was a soft dictator, telling people what to do and what not to do. Hey, I worked on Contagion. I'm like, so I knew the script ahead of time. I knew what they were going to do. And I started telling people, but a lot of people wouldn't listen. They said, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah, well, because I know what I know too much ahead of time through my gifts. Yeah, I tell a lot of people where to get off. Yeah, I basically, yeah, let's see. I'm going to try checking out another house of worship. But if they're too woke, I'll probably end up getting kicked out of that one too. Yeah, these stupid little woke fools. They don't realize it. They're supporting the Ukraine. They're supporting the blue and yellow flag country and the Z guy. The Z guy is a little follower of Adolf, and they're supporting him. Well, they're young and dumb. They're under 40. They were corrupted. They never learned proper history. And they also never learned how to dress appropriately. So, yeah. It's like this new place. They actually lists a dress code. So hopefully they'll be better. But yeah, I'm laughing now. Yeah, check out my Matt Taibbi's thing. Now, we all know Diane the Fink'S, croaked in office. Literally, in her office. And, of course, Rachel had to stick her hat into the ring, but we know she's all talk, no action, because she will not give up that freaking title. She would have had to disentangle herself from the entire BRF. So it's like she was just spouting noise for attention. Instead, I'm sure everyone's seen it. Gruesome Newsom has put in LaFonza Butler. This chick is, he said he was going to put in a black woman. Well, he did. Black and gay. So he ticked off the affirmative action boxes. And what's crazy is that she's actually a resident and votes in the state of Maryland. Yeah, she owns some property out in California. So that makes her eligible to be a California senator because she owns a piece of property. You see, that thing was what they used to get Rahm Emanuel as mayor of Chicago. As long as you own property in a state, it doesn't mean you're voting there. You don't have to be voting in that state, but as long as you own property, you can hold political office in a state that you don't live in, just as long as you own a piece of property. Which is totally bullcrap. Total. She runs this thing called Emily's List. So I'm going to have to look into this, find out what that is. But she is a bestie of Cami Poop. She worked on Cami Poop's run to be Attorney General of California. And when Cami Poop was AG of California, she did diddly squat. And something she could have done, she could have stepped up and investigated the discrimination against females in the film industry. But she didn't. She's part of the garbage machine to demonize women and to harass them, either physically, to harass and abuse women in the film industry, either physically, emotionally, verbally. Cami Poop could have put an end to it, but because her major donors are the guys who were abusing women in all departments, not just the talent, but the crew members, she did absolutely frickin' nothing. I did more for the women in film industry than Cami Poop. Yeah, I sacrificed my life for it, and the first 2 hires were black women who didn't even have common decency to say thank you. They're 2 women who were raised without manners. Because I'm a white female and they're black. So they have done everything possible to make me look horrible here in Illinois. But without me, they would not have gotten that job. And because I'm calling it out, ching, 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 guess I'm further in debt. But dudes, I'm living below the poverty line. I'm ultra low income. You want to come after me? That's going to look really rotten. So come on, throw some more stuff at me. I'll be happy. Hey, I can't afford an attorney. State of Illinois is going to have to provide one. And they're going to have to find someone who has the same political outlook as I do. Otherwise, it's going to be malpractice, legal malpractice. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, we've got someone that LaFonza. Yeah, where do these birth mothers, incubators, find these frickin' names? LaPhonza? LaFonza? Give me a frickin' break. I have friends who are black and brown, and the one things that they make sure to do is to name their children. Give them names that look great on a college diploma and a resume. Yes. Think of that. Think of your child's future. If you give them a name that nobody can pronounce, you think an HR director is going to call them? Not in the least. Okay, that's my rant for, oh yes, and the reason why I'm kind of late in the day getting this filmed is because I did want to see, they did allow, I know there's going to be more by the time this goes up at 4:30 Central Standard Time today, but I did watch the video footage of them, of Donald going into the New York courtroom for the supposed civil fraud trial today. So they showed everybody coming in, and then as soon as the judge called it to order, they cut the cameras. So yeah, it's roughly 11:35. I'm ending this, so let's see what news comes out in the next 4 or 5 hours. Catch you later. See ya. Catch you, and the next video goes up on the 4th. So yeah, have a good one today. Could have a nice Monday night. Don't forget football's on. Yes. Bye-bye.